What's going on, folks? This is Mr.Cologne76. I want to be the first to welcome you to today's live. I've got a very, very exciting young man I'm going to bring on that means a great deal to me. You see, there was a time Mr.Cologne76 was a tiny little account, and there wasn't anyone in the fragrance community that invited people on. There wasn't another person that said, hey, let's help support and showcase some of the talented minds in the fragrance community. And very early in my fragrance journey, I wanted to use my platform to help develop other fragrance reviewers, other fragrance bloggers, and those with a real passion and a unique personality. Today's guest, Gino, Stop Talking About Fragrance, has shown that from the very first time I saw his account. And this has been a long time in the making. So I'm happy that you guys have joined. If there's a person you feel you would like to see on Mr. Cologne76 live session, drop him in the comments, or better yet, send me a DM so that I could reach out to that individual and bring on. All right, preferably, it's a person that's really involved in the fragrance community. All right, preferably someone that shows unique passion and consistent interests. That is the type of person I want to bring on my live sessions to have a conversation. So, Gino, if you're here, drop a comment so that I can send you an invitation. I'm going to put a little comment up here. So, excuse me 1 second. All right, so hopefully I haven't made any errors in that. DM me if you or someone you know should be on a live session with me. All right. Actually, I need to redo that. I need to redo that comment. Bear with me for 1 second. Bear with me for 1 second, y'all. Normally I have this done ahead of time, but I didn't. OMG. All right, I'm going to come back to the tag, the pinned comment in a moment. I see my guest on, so I'm going to bring him on, and that I do out of respect. So we're going to bring on Stop Talking About Fragrance, Gino. Yo.
What's up, Glenn? How you doing?
I knew he was going to ask something.
Ready to do this? You ready?
Look at this, y'all. Look at this.
Can you hear me? Is it?
I don't know if he can hear you. Can he hear you?
Sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let me see. Let me turn my volume up a little bit.
Okay.
Not very loudly.
All right. I'll try to talk loudly.
Oh, hold on. I see what the problem is. I got my earphones on. I can hear you.
All right. This is for you, Glenn. I did this for you. This is one of your favorite posts that you said you loved. So
yeah,
I'm gonna try and do it live.
I hope somebody's doing a screenshot of this or a screen record. Somebody please record this and send it to me after the fact.
In my head, it would have gone a lot faster and like way more impressive.
Bro, we are enjoying it. We are touched. So do your thing, brother. Do your thing.
It's so burning on the back, though. Ow! I burned myself.
Don't hurt yourself now.
Well, you get the picture, right?
We do.
There we go. There it is. I got the Sharpie that inspired it all. And I'm gone. You're still there. So what was going to happen, I was going to be behind here, and everything was going to be going smoothly. And then I would reveal myself through the flames. But it's harder to do.
So this is what was supposed to happen. There we go. All right, give him a round of applause, y'all. Make some noise. Make some noise for Gino. Hey, we appreciate those touches, brother. I'm gonna pin a comment. I'm gonna pin a comment right here, real quick.
All right, I'm gonna let my wife put that up.
All right.
Good to see you, Glenn.
Same here.
All right. Oh yeah, right next to this giant burning mess is the shed I usually record in. So that's usually where I'm sweating at. And I make most of the set props for the animations. So I have all my saws and my tools in there. And then right next to it, I have this little setup here. I'm here. I'm ready for my son of the day, which I waited until we were talking together.
All right, bring it out. Bring it out.
All right, so I don't really know what I want to wear today. This is motif olfactive. These haven't even come out yet, so I don't even... Oh, here it is. Here it is. I got it. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I just had all these boxes from Mr. Oz. Opus 1870. My signature scent has been for a very, very long time. This little bow tie has gotten me a lot of places. So that's my scent of the day.
All right, all right.
And I'm so glad that you're wearing Ovation. And I just send my love to your family and for comfort and for strength.
Appreciate that, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, brother. So I'm going to introduce you again for those of you that haven't met Gino before. You're not familiar with his Instagram, his content.
Hold on a second. We have a fire problem outside. One. It's not bad. It's not bad. I just got to figure this out.
This is perhaps the most exciting guest I've had on my channel. Literally, it's fire. Literally. So drop the fire emoji, y'all.
Fire already.
Drop the fire emoji. I'm gonna start it off.
All right. There's smoke everywhere. Okay. I was advised not to do the first post, and then secondly advised not to do what I just did out there. And it is smoky and cloudy, and I think I just ruined my barbecue grill. Okay, let's get into it.
All right. So if you're not familiar with Gino, stop talking about fragrance. Gino is a perfume lover, a family man, a very talented animator. And I came across his account, and it was almost like immediately I was like, wow, this guy is doing something different. And I've just admired what he's done. He has a different take on presenting content about fragrances. And here he is in the flesh. Gino, I want to say thank you for joining us today.
Thinking of me and inviting me. This was, we'd always talk about, kind of meeting up, but this is a great first start. I'd love to hang out with you and have an old fashioned with you.
Yes, sir.
And discuss some stuff, but this is just mind blowing that you would think to do this. And I love being here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank your family for their support, because I know how important it is to have the support of the family to do what we do. How involved is your wife in what you do?
My family and I are just, we do a lot of stuff together. I'm very family centric. We dance, we sing, we do everything together. I have 3 daughters, and my wife supports me through thick and thin, no matter what, no matter how dumb, no matter how much fire.
No matter how much fire. I love it. Well, we certainly appreciate her help in today's production. It's fire. It's cool. Fire. So I'm gonna go back to the top of your profile, because I hadn't noticed what you wrote here in your bio. and I like it. So your bio says everyone's unique connection to fragrance is intriguing. Also, if a fragrance moves me, I move it. I don't think I'll ever stop talking about fragrance.
Yeah, I love the wordplay with if it moves me, I move it, meaning I animate it. It's animation is something I'm really passionate about, and bringing heartfelt stories together and telling, tales of what means something to different people is really important to me. And I that's why I love independent perfumery, because there's so much behind the label, behind the glass, behind the juice. It really is thought provoking. It's very inspiring, and it makes my mind leap to visuals and what they were experiencing and everything. So that's why I'm heavily into indie perfume. I started out buying designer fragrances, and I had a big collection in high school. I started collecting just everything I could. I had no bills to pay, so I was just spending all my money at Sephora. And in college, I sort of found one fragrance and then kind of stuck with it and stopped collecting. And then a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago, I started. I'm a big YouTube person. I watch YouTube all the time, and I never even thought to think of YouTube reviewers for fragrances or anything that has to do with fragrances. And then I found Journey Fragrance, and I found Carlos from BFL, Chris from Fragmental, and that's just, I was like, there is a whole world out there that I thought I knew that's just coming to life now, that there's the technology and everything is coming together, and people are sharing their passions and sharing, I was really interested in rare perfumes and stuff that I've missed, because I stopped collecting for a long time. So I'd never smelled Aventus. I'd never smelled these huge releases, La Nuit de l'Homme. I never, so I got really obsessed with designer and niche releases that were hard to find, really expensive, or that kind of thing. And so I thought I was headed down that road. And then I was listening to American Perfumer podcast because I was just getting so into it. I needed to find more. So on my way to work, I have an hour drive to work. I just started listening to podcasts, and it started with aromatherapy, which I'm heavily into. And I dare say it on your channel, I might be into aromatherapy more than perfumes, just the essential oils. And I think that's why the niche perfume it's speaking more connection with the earth and plants and olfactive sense memories. Truly, my biggest connection with perfume is olfactive sense memory, and it's very interesting how that's the only sense that provokes your mind and your heart. It's just, I don't know, just there's the connection there, and it's very strong, and it means something to you deep down, and you didn't even know it was there, and you didn't know it could be conjured like that with just one spray.
Something had to have happened between that and the type of content that you're putting out now. So what happened?
Well, I had, I'm in the animation space at work. I'm an editor, VFX artist, and also an animator, director. I kind of do everything in the digital, video space, and that's what I do on a daily basis. So I work for a production company called Sawhorse Productions, and it's such a great place because something new and something challenging, and that kind of has ingrained itself into me to take each challenge and do something that challenges myself and pushes myself. I had just worked for Disney for a couple of years, I think 5 or 6 years, and I had a stop motion animation project there, which was my first. That was my first. I've always loved stop motion. I love all stop motion movies kind of speak to me at some huge level, all the Leica movies of Kubo and Box Trolls and all that. And that kind of something I loved, but never really did. So I did a 46-minute stop motion short film for Disney, blank a Vinylmation love story, and it took 165 days to complete just the shooting part of it. I love the look of it. It's timeless, and it has its own quirkiness that and heart. Bringing heart to a lifeless puppet, frame by frame, is kind of magical, and so is conjuring up emotions with fragrance. So,
right.
I started off my account. My account didn't start with animation. It was just what I was interested in, a diary of my fragrance journey. And then I got really excited from American Perfumer when I listened to episode 6, Hans Henley, and just the way just what he was talking about really spoke to me. And he reminds me of one of my best friends. So I really connected with that. And that's what, at the very end, they hinted at this bottle that they were working on together called Bloodline. And I just had to smell it. I didn't know what to do. And so I ordered a discovery set and messaged Hans, and I said, do you have even a drop of Bloodline? Because I just want to experience that. And in my first discovery set, there was a little sample. So I was gifted a sample of Bloodline, and that changed everything.
How so?
Well, I had never experienced any fragrance like that. It reminded me heavily of aromatherapy and the essential oils and everything. It just took me somewhere. It was the first fragrance to actually take me somewhere and think about it. And immediately I had a billion visuals in my head, and I had to do something with it. I was just very inspired. So I think that night I animated the discovery set for that. And I haven't really done, that was my first real animation that I did myself from start to finish.
Is it something about the fragrance that inspires what you do with the animation, or is it the fragrance per se, or is it the concept of the fragrance that influences what you do for the animation?
It's a mix. Some of the fragrances, like Bloodline or something, and then others have a unique backstory. A lot of Chris Russick's stuff there's so much behind it, and he kind of lists, the thought behind it, and it makes me experience it in that way, because I kind of want to experience it in the way it was supposed to be experienced. And yeah, it's different every time. But everything, I've been fortunate enough that I have been very passionate about every single animation that I've done, and it takes a lot out of me. It takes a long time to do. It takes many sleepless nights. So for me to put a punishment on my body, I really have to want to do this.
Can you walk us through your most rewarding, your most fruitful animation that you've done? The one that you're just the most proud of?
One I'm most proud of, it was the OSM, olfactive sense memory. I think I'm saying that right.
Yes, I remember that one. I actually met the two brothers, not the two brothers, the couple that. Yeah.
Sorry, misspeaking.
Yeah, I actually met them when I visited LA, so I know exactly what you're talking about, and I remember the animation for that. That was very nice.
That was the first time that the perfumers actually sent me everything I needed to do an animation. So I had every single bottle size, and I was just blown away with the possibilities, because I had just animated a little sample.
In terms of the animations, I think that was the one that was like, I saw that and I was like, Oh my God, that's a whole different niche within our niche for fragrances. So what was it like to create that?
I think what I loved most about making that is actually talking with the perfumer and really helping a brand that was a little bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to do something for them because I loved the way that their product looked. I loved the people behind it. And I just wanted to do something I was more passionate about them than I was about fragrances or anything. I just wanted to do something to push myself and to do something nice for them. So
Awesome.
working with Kyle and just he's such a amazing person, and we did end up talking after doing the animation at a scent fair, which was really cool. I was able to see all their stuff and their accords that they brought. They brought just the accords that they were working on, and it was such a wonderful time. So that was the LA Scent Festival. That was really cool.
Now, was that in what year was that? Because I went to a LA Scent Fair as well. It was an art and olfaction biannual scent fair.
That was last year. That was 2019.
I'm trying to remember when I went. Because when I went, like Chris Russack was like when you walk into the first doorway, you had like Chatillon Luxe right there on the left.
It might have been a different one. I don't think Chris Russack.
Okay. So this was a different event. Okay, I was going to say we could have been at the same event. So how many of the brands you work with do you actually have these conversations?
I've never really spoken with like in person with many of them. Chris Russack, I've spent multiple times hanging out with him and just talking just about random stuff. He brings stuff and I bring stuff and we just kind of smell and he kind of tells me everything there is to know about everything. He's so knowledgeable and so such a bright light. He wanted to meet up and I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great, and never thinking that it would actually happen. But that was, seeing him for the first time was such an amazing thing.
Any other brands you've had these conversations with?
Before doing things, actually, I just spoke with, I was doing the Bloodline animation a couple of days ago, and that was the first time I was actually able to communicate with Hans while it was happening, and that was wild. That was just unbelievable to me. I showed him like a work in progress, and we were able to kind of work together to get something that was quite amazing and beyond what I thought it was going to be. That was really fun.
Nice.
And now Mr. Oz on something really.
And he's actually on right now.
All right.
So
talk about cool people in the community. He's unbelievable. Just I love the when you meet somebody and they're just the same as you think they're going to be, as deep and profound, but also warm and inviting and wanting to collaborate. And he's amazing. So we're going to be working on something soon. That's what I'm getting supplies for. There's a lot of things in the works with that.
So when
live with his work.
What does that process start off like when you're like, okay, I'm going to make something for Mr. Oz? So you're blank slate. What happens next?
Well, the next thing is I kind of, I want to see what's in their brain first, because ultimately that's what I want. I want their message to be heard. I want it to be an extension, the natural extension of what that is. I tried to put my spin on something a while ago and it bit me. But it didn't feel right. But yeah, I think just putting the perfumer first and not just the perfumer, but because you're kind of lifting this thing. You're birthing something. You're birthing like an idea and a fragrance and an entity. So
Mm-hmm.
you want to nurture it and you want it to be everything it can be. So I want to be delicate and not put suggestions first. I want to take in as much as I can and then see what we come up with from there. And just it's not about me being creative. It's visualizing something that means a lot.
Wow, very creative. You created something for me a while back, and it was some clips of me going into my old fragrance cabinets, and I was just blown away by that. What inspired you to do that?
It is one of the most exciting things that I see of you picking out your scent of the day. So I had to go through your entire Instagram account, one of them, order them by date, figure out, and then kind of skip around and put it all together. So seeing something as like an archive of like an anthology, that kind of thing was the idea behind it. And
I was blown away because you had reached out to me and you had kind of pitched the concept to me, and I was like, it sounds cool. I didn't think it was that exciting, watching me open a drawer and take a fragrance out. But when you made this thing, I was just like, how did he make this thing so smooth? You had the dates, it was well done. So if you guys haven't seen this, scroll back into his account. I'm looking to see if I can tell you how far back it was posted. I see it right here. So it was posted 32 weeks ago.
That was about 3 hours of hunting through your archives. You have a lot of posts. So just going through it was, it really opened my eyes to sort of everything from idea to idea and through lines between perfumers and brands and everything. It was interesting going through something like that. And also seeing your tastes.
Yeah. I still have those little cabinets, but right now the fragrances are all behind me. So unless I totally run out of space, it's gonna live on those shelves.
When you pull out the little drawers.
We had a conversation about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and I was trying to get to the essence of what you would like to do with your talents in terms of your blogging in the fragrance space. If time and money was not an issue, what would you like to do with that?
I really want to get into doing this full time, and if I can do what I'm doing in the twilight hours, I really want to see what I can do if I, devoted my whole week or as much time as I could to it.
Mm-hmm. Would you consider doing markets besides perfumes, or would you just really narrow it down to that specific market?
It would have to speak to me at some level. I want to do something that I'm passionate about. I do have a short film that I'm writing that's inspired by indie perfume that I hope to partner with a perfumer that I really love to be a part of it and to tell that story. It will be animated and it will be, like a short film you'd see before a film.
Wow. Are you able to tell us who that perfume house is, or is it no spoiler alerts?
I wrote it with Hans Henley in mind, but
okay.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. Are there other brands that you would love to work with?
Definitely. This year, my eyes have opened to a whole, just so many things. I did an exploration in Black-owned business, and I was blown away by all of these brands and the hard work and the stories behind it and their unique take and also with a mindset for that skin type. I don't know if they're going for that, but certain notes are speaking to me on that level. I've noticed that, certain ingredients that they're using, I loved exploring. There are so many beautiful people behind these brands. Chevalier from PM Fragrances is so inspiring, and Maison de Darius. I love the messaging that they put out every day. It's very poignant and very powerful. And Mr. Oz, I just think that there's big people doing big things, and it's just going to get bigger.
I totally agree. What can we see as the next evolution in Stop Talking About Fragrance?
Hopefully full time. Hopefully I want to be able to do animation full time. I want there to be an animation house so that we can just make big things, make big huge things, and kind of shake things up a little bit. Tell stories, tell little stories that make a big difference.
When I think of fragrances and animation, Stop Talking About Fragrances is who I think about. So when we last talked, I mentioned to you that I want to see you really fill that role and really fill that role. So I hope that you can make that happen. You have passion and talent and consistency, and those are some ingredients that I think is critical to having success in any walk of life.
Well, I appreciate that. And the things that you do with the time that you have is something that we have in common. We try to do as much as we can with the time that we have. And I appreciate your time and every second that you are making and creating and bonding and forging relationships and pushing people up that should have a voice.
Absolutely. That was, very, very early in my growth. That was one of the things that I said I wanted to do, because when I came on the scene, it was like, there were some well-established reviewers and bloggers, but no one was taking the time to say, hey, let me give this person a platform to talk about their passion or their unique thing. So it's near and dear to my heart, and I've done it since the beginning, and I have no plans of stopping. What do you like most about the fragrance community?
I love the positive energy, and I don't know, the light. There's a lot of good people, and I see you don't see a lot of bad people in the community, and at least I'm not seeing.
I definitely agree with you. The good aspects of the fragrance community definitely outweighs by far the bad aspects. And you are very much a part of that, the good that I see in the fragrance community. I saw in a recent video of yours that you were going to start incorporating, uplifting someone in every video that you made. And I was like, I like that. What inspired you to do that?
I've always wanted to do it, and I just forget things all the time.
Yeah. Clearly you can see that Gino has a lot of real passion and a lot of talent. I implore you to go check him out, peruse his account, see what he has done, and maybe I'll see a collaboration from you and Stop Talking About Fragrance. I would love to see more of those things happening.
I had one last thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and we're always, getting involved with the metaphorical meanings of everything, and sort of having that moment about just expanding our idea of what perfume is. And I think I came up with something that may be just like an ending thought.
All right.
And that is, what are you reaching for? And that's something that I felt like your questioning was for me on the phone with a pre-interview when we talked before. And that term, what are you reaching for, as like the scent of the day, is something that I wanted to kind of see your take on. And, here, I got it kind of here. And then, are you searching for something like what you're doing today? What are you doing today? What are you doing today? Sorry, I said it like 4 times. So what do you want? Something cheap and fun, something to get you compliments? Are you looking for something seasonal, something familiar, something that you're used to in your top 6 list? Because I feel like fragrance really shows you what you want in life.
Mm-hmm.
On a subliminal level, like romance or comfort, excitement, or focusing on yourself. So something big for me. So I want something challenging, this was very challenging with the IT, the problem. Something with great longevity, something kind of spicy, something that's my signature. What are we reaching for on a daily basis, but what actually are you reaching for today?
All right. Well, you talking about what I reach for today?
It's like a goal. Like, what is your goal? Like, what are you reaching for? Are you reaching for something that big goal, or are you looking for that just scent of the day that you're comfortable with?
For me, it varies. Some days it's kind of almost prescribed. I have to wear something to get a sense for what it smells like. I may want to review it, so I try to wear fragrances a few times before I ever write a review. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm making my coffee and I look at my phone and I see a post from one of my followers that's very inspiring. Sometimes it's a conversation that I had with someone the previous day and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wear that fragrance tomorrow. So that influences what I wear sometimes. So it changes really on a day-to-day basis. There's a tiny period of time. And when I say tiny period of time, I mean moments where my whims influence my selection. And that by that, I mean like, I feel like wearing something with a lot of sandalwood, or I want a strong oud perfume today, or I want something light and easy. Those opportunities, those moments are less common for me. Most times it's an inspiration or something that I have to review. Or lastly, there are times I like my lady to come and pick fragrances that she would like to smell on me. And those are the best because then I don't have to choose and I know she's going to like it.
But I guess what I'm asking is, what in your life are you reaching for?
In my life.
Yeah. So what's the next stage in your life?
The next stage in my life, right now I'm in a very tough spot in my life with my family. I was supposed to get married this year. We had to postpone our wedding because of COVID. My dad is real ill. The world is just in turmoil. So right now, my immediate goal is to get through this COVID situation, be able to have my wedding, be able to be as comfortable as possible with the situation that's happening with my family. That's kind of like what's I'm focused on right now.
Awesome. Well, I hope you have your day for everything that you want. Every moment that you want to have, I hope you have it.
Thank you.
I hope you get to be there at every second that you need to be with the people that you love.